Hi everyone, this is Dr. Charles E. Clough, representing the Church of Truth Center for Awakening Consciousness. August the 16th already, and I'm glad we can join together on either Saturday evening or Sunday morning to think together about some of these things that can help us in our spiritual journey. Let me begin with the typical prayer. Gracious God, please leapfrog over the distance so those listening hear this as if we are all together in our peaceful sanctuary. The thoughts today are related to average. Watching the news and catching everything happening related to the coronavirus brings our attention to the many people all over the world who are dealing with this same health issue. Humans on the street and in the meeting places are mixing with crowds, leaving them vulnerable to what is out there to catch from other people. This disease, as with others, puts individuals in the spotlight. I was around when the polio and tuberculosis epidemics were rampant. With those illnesses, individuals got a lot of attention due to the seriousness of their condition. Getting those diseases did not turn out well. With this virus, having to go into the hospital gets a lot of attention. It doesn't matter who the person is, that is probably not even asked in the initial moments. If the person has the virus, he or she is a danger to others around. So this individual has to be sent to where further contamination is minimal. Regardless of race, color, culture, or gender, the care is the same. Everyone is treated as average when being dealt with related to this disease, and all average is serious. We are all individuals. We all say, I am me, and we have a name. The size of a group is just that many individuals, that many ones. Crowds are many single persons congregated. There would be no crowds without average people. There would be no sales without average people. Without the involvement of many, there would be no successful performers. The entertainer could not exist without an audience, just plain normal folks. My wife and I, along with two friends, went to a small play in San Francisco. It was a one-man show. There was seating for probably 16, but the only ones there were the four of us. The person at the piano would have loved to have had more than just us. Any others who would have listened and helped pay for his talents, he would have appreciated. Added to this, when we think of the contribution we make when we vote, there would be no politicians without average people. Elections presume persons favor one person over another. We are each one of those voting ones. When we vote, we are a special one among the average. Have you noticed how many common folks there are on television? Advertisers seem to be looking for these types, actually seemingly even more than average, those with overboard features and characteristics, like protruding noses, crazy hair, big ears. Talent searchers do not seem to be looking for special people anymore, if meaning unusually beautiful or handsome. A good friend was a very beautiful woman. She went through all the necessary training and protocol for being able to be on commercial ads. Her profile picture, the one you send out to take with you when applying for a job, was gorgeous. She was in line for an interview for a TV spot at a Hollywood location. Those in line kept looking at her and thought they didn't have a chance because they did not look that good. One woman even made a comment. When the person I'm referring to kept getting turned down at the different interviews, she finally asked her manager why she wasn't picked up. He told her advertisers nowadays are looking for simple, average-looking people. She was not that. She looked too good. She eventually got an offer from a casino, a place wanting to draw from a higher class of people. What do I really want to say? Average is God's preference. Why do I think the average person is so special to God? Because God made so many of them. There are a bunch of us. To me, this is what I think God is saying to each one of us average folks. In the midst of myself, I have given you yourself. I am a conscious being. You are a conscious being. Take everything I've given you and see what you can do with it. The most impressive part of this directive is its fairness and commonality to every being. The kind of person we are is what it is all about. Who we become and are as human beings is what matters. And guess what? Each individual one of us is in charge of that. Just average folks have a chance for the same quality of being available to everyone. If we measure success as accomplishment by monetary or visual means, fairness has gone out the window. But if the measurement is about who and how we are as a person, everyone has the same opportunity to be God-pleasing and to help in making the world a better place. God isn't looking for special people with unusual talents and abilities. God is looking for good people, loving, kind, fair, gracious. Or do we maybe need to rethink what we consider special is? Maybe that is what special is to God. Simply being who we are as we manifest God's presence in everyday life. God loves the simple folk, and in us, God shows up. Simple folk, average people, must be the best of the lot, for they are the ones who make everything work. They fill in the gaps. A picture may feature a few specifics, but it is the background that makes those specifics stand out. In everything we do, we are the background that helps God stand out. We feature God. The general population worldwide seems to be finding more of a voice. Protesters are rising up and being heard. This is a time for major changes. It is sad it is so hard to break up cemented habits and practices, but that seems to have to happen when getting a giant to take baby steps again. Big governments, like giants, have been in place for a long time and they don't change easily. It all too often takes large groups of average folks to step up and find a better way. Most of us average folks don't need to be out front and recognized. We are not normally difficult. We don't have to be anybody. We are relaxed with ourselves. We are okay just being around. But if you put us together with a passionate cause, watch out. Throughout history, common people, when they rally together, have changed nations. Is that happening again? Is that going on right now? One thing we can always do is speak up and we can fortunately always vote. One vote does not seem like much, but 100,000 votes do. That's 100,000 ones, and we can be one of those. This subject has motivated me to look at my friends from over the years. A large number of friends come to my mind as I try to look over those who have been special to me, just because they've been just who they are. How many would I think of as being special from the viewpoint of making unusual contributions or having unusual talents? Not many. And these were not the ones that I spent the most time with. It was average friends that added so much to my life as time went by. With the fragility we all somewhat feel due to this virus, we might take a fresh look at our friends. Friends and family are unexpectedly being moved from this world to the next without much notice. Even though we know we will see someone again if they leave before we want them to, we maybe can surely enjoy them now, even though it might be from a distance. We thank God for our friends, that we can get in touch with them, that they mean to us what they do. And so it is.
Like thousand horses disappear from a song. Eternal magic waterfall, flowing downstream forever, never come back, never. Stand still and make you real. If I were a snowflake falling off the sky, would you be the wind? Take me for a ride. Absence, unspeakable emptiness. 'Cause you are there, I'm here. Time stands still and make you real. To meet me there. to the thunder's roar, and the raindrops fall. Peace of frost, the silence, the sounds of the war.